Hello students, last time we have completed S.Y.B.Sc Zoology paper 2nd, semester 1st. The course title was Applied Zoology 1st. Today we are going to begin with S.Y.B.Sc Zoology paper 2nd, semester 2nd. The course title is Applied Zoology 2nd and the course code is ZO 242. This paper is having weightage of 50 marks. Out of 50, 15 marks are for the internal assessment and 35 marks for the university examinations. This paper also includes two topics such as apiculture and fisheries. The topic first, apiculture, is having weightage of 16 lecture. Apiculture is the important branch of applied zoology. It deals with scientific culturing and rearing of the honeybees for the production of byproducts such as honey, beeswax as a major byproducts, and pollen, propolis, royal jelly, epitoxin as a minor byproducts. Friends, beekeeping or apiculture practice is very important for the branch of agriculture because honeybees provides a free and efficient service of cross pollination to the flowers of the variety of crops cultivated in the agriculture, and thus apiculture or beekeeping is having great importance in the agriculture for the increased yield of the crops. Apiculture is the important branch of applied zoology and it deals with scientific culturing and rearing of the honeybees for the purpose of production of major byproducts such as honey and beeswax, and thus beekeeping or apicultural practice can be adopted as a profession side by side along with the agricultural practices. So in this topic we are going to explain different subtopics such as an introduction to apiculture. So in this topic we are going to define the definition of the apiculture, systematic position or the classification of the honeybees, then study of habitat and the nesting behavior of important species of the honeybees such as Apis dorsata, Apis indica, Apis florea and Apis mellifera. The second subtopic is the study of life cycle of the honeybees. So in this topic we are going to study the life cycle of the honeybees, which is including four important stages such as egg, larva, pupa and adult. Then we are also going to explain the colony organization and the division of labor of the honeybees. Friends, honeybee colonies are well organized. Honeybees are social insects living together, working together in the favor of honeybee colonies. Honeybee colony is composed of thousands of bees, including a queen bee, thousands of workers, and the hundreds of drones or the male members. Then honeybee colonies also uh, contains or shows the division of labor among the workers, where the honeybees or the workers of the honeybees performs different duties such as indoor duties or outdoor duties in the colony so as to satisfy various needs or the requirements of the honeybee colony, and thus honeybee shows well-defined colony organization including three castes, that is queen, workers and the drone, together with the well-defined division of labor among the workers. Then third subtopic is bee behavior and bee communication. So honeybees shows different activities which can be explained as bee behavior, such as nuptial flight, swarming, absconding, superseder. So these are the different activities or different type of habits which can be observed among the honeybee colony in the form of bee behavior. Then honeybees also shows the well-defined bee communication in the form of either olfactory communication or a dance communication. So this particular aspect, that is olfactory communication or the dance communication, defines the bee language. So for the communication of the honeybees among the various caste or the various members of the colony, they perform or they show two type of communication, that is olfactory communication, which is on the basis of sense of smell or sense of taste of the samples or the food materials which are collected from the surrounding field. Then the honeybees also shows the communication in the form of the body movements or the dance, such as round dance and wagtail dance, which are important to explain or to indicate the distance and the quantity of the food source from the honeybee colony. So honeybee shows well-defined bee behavior or bee communication. So there is a sort of bee language which was identified or observed by the eminent biologist such as Carl von Frisch, and thus who mentioned or described the method of communication among the honeybees, that is dance communication, and honeybees performs different type of dance such as round dance or wagtail dance so as to indicate the distance of the food source or the direction of the food source from the honeybee colony, together with certain other dances which are also indicating certain message or providing certain message to the other members in the colony, and they are either joy dance or DVAV dance, massage dance, cleaning dance, or alarm dance, so as to indicate a certain situation of the colony. Then next subtopic is the study of beekeeping equipments. So for the practice of beekeeping or apiculture needs certain bee equipments which are very important for the easy practice or successful practice of the apiculture. and thus the beekeeping equipments such as bee box, Langstroth hive or the artificial bee box, which was discovered by L. Langstroth, which is adopted for or which is useful for the growing of the hive bees or the domesticated type of honeybees uh, in the bee box. Then honey extractor. So bee box is a very important beekeeping equipment for rearing of the honeybees as a colony or house of the bees, but is developed or prepared artificially or is discovered by L. Langstroth and which is discovered by the scientist L. Langstroth with the consideration of the bee space theory, and this is very important equipment for the beekeeping purpose. Then another beekeeping equipment that is honey extractor, which is also a simple machine and used for the extraction of the honey from the hives or the combs. Then smoker, which is also very important for the temporary dispersal of the bees from the colonies. Then bee veil, gloves are the beekeeping equipments useful for the beekeeper so as to get protected from the bee stings. Hive tool is another beekeeping equipment which is useful for the separation of different parts or the compartments of the hive box. Then bee brush, which is useful for uh, sweeping up or spreading bees, removal of the honeybees from the honeycomb or the colonies. Then queen excluder is also an important equipment useful for the protection of the queen brood cells. So this is a small equipment which will be uh, used or applied over the queen brood cells so that the queen brood or the developing queen could be protected in the queen brood cell. Then next subtopic is beekeeping and the seasonal management. As the apicultural practice or beekeeping practice is very important for a farmer or the beekeeper who is involved in the practice of beekeeping or apiculture. So, for the maintenance and proper management of the beekeeping industry, there needs some sort of activities which will become useful for the management of the bees or the bee boxes so that the honeybees can live in the colony, honeybees can collect the pollen, propolis, or the nectar so that they could develop, they can work together and can produce a large quantity of honey or can remain in a particular bee box for the long period of the time, and thus there should be seasonal management, some sort of activities which are very important for the maintenance or the management of the honeybee colonies in the bee boxes or in the artificial hives. Otherwise, honeybees leaves the colony and that will become a loss of the beekeeper, and hence beekeeping practice needs the seasonal management. So during summer, winter or rainy season or the monsoon months, the condition become critical and the honeybees are prone to absconding. So during adverse situation or the conditions or unfavorable conditions during different season, the beekeeper has to take the care of the honeybees so that honeybees can live in the colony and can perform their activities normally and can produce the honey as a product which is very important for the beekeeper. So, beekeeping and seasonal management of various seasons that can also be explained uh, in the topic uh, beekeeping and the seasonal management. Then next subtopic is bee products, where we are going to study the composition and the uses of the different bee products such as honey, wax, bee venom, propolis, royal jelly, and the pollen. So these are the important byproducts of the beekeeping or apiculture and can be obtained either in a large quantity or in the smaller quantity as per their rate of production. Then next subtopic is study of diseases and enemies of the honeybees. In this topic, we are going to study bee diseases such as Nosema disease, called as a protozoan disease or bacterial disease, which includes American foul brood disease or European foul brood disease, then viral disease called as sackbrood disease, then fungal disease called as Charcot disease or stone brood disease. So these are the different diseases occurring uh, among the members of the honeybees, such as workers, drones, or the queen, and this happens due to the infection of different type of pathogens such as protozoans, bacteria, viruses, or the fungi, and thus it is very important to study the bee diseases so as to take proper care of the honeybees to maintain the healthy or disease-free colonies so as to obtain the good results in the form of the byproducts. Then next topic is bee pest. So in this case, we are going to study the wax moth and the wax beetles, which are also causing harm to the honeybees and causing loss of the beekeeping industry. So it is important to study the bee diseases, bee pests such as wax moth, that is greater and lesser, or wax beetles. Then bee predators such as bee eater, king crow, wasp, lizard, these are also the natural enemies or the predators attacking onto the honeybee colony and causing much of the loss or damage to the honeycomb, and also the number of honeybees can also be reduced due to the feeding of these pests and predators on the honeybees directly in the honeybee colonies. Then last point is bee pollination and the management of bee colonies for the pollination. So in last point we can study uh, the cross pollination service provided by the honeybees to the variety of crops which are cultivated in the agriculture. So the study of bee pollination and management of the bee colonies for the pollination. So where we can use the artificial hives or the honeybee colonies that can be kept directly in the agricultural field or in the variety of crops which needs the entomophilous type of cross pollination or which are dependent upon the insects for the cross pollination so as to uh, get uh, the proper results of the fruit setting or seed setting in the cultivated crops. So this is about the various topics which we are going to study in the first topic, apiculture. Then second topic is fisheries, having weightage of 14 lectures. So fisheries is also the important applied branch of the zoology, and it deals with scientific culturing or growing or the domestication of different type of fishes or the aquatic organisms or the even aquatic plants which are of which are of great economic importance either as a food or a source of food for the fishes. So fisheries is also important branch of applied zoology, and it deals with scientific culturing and rearing of variety of fishes in the various resources of the water, such as seas, oceans, or inland freshwater resources such as rivers, dams, ponds, lakes, etc., which can be exploited or used for the purpose of fishery production, where the farmer or the fisherman can grow these variety of fishes in the different aquatic resources or the water bodies, including seas, oceans, rivers, ponds, lakes, or dams, which can be used for the purpose of fisheries so as to increase the fishery production. So, fisheries includes subtopics such as an introduction to fisheries and its types in brief. So, in first subtopic, we are going to study the definition of the fisheries or the importance of the fisheries together with the type of fisheries such as freshwater fisheries, marine fisheries, or brackish water fisheries. So, on the basis of different type of water resources or the water bodies having different type of water such as fresh water, marine water, or the brackish water, which are uh, adopted as a habitat by the different species of the fishes or different fishery animals such as fishes, then prawns, crabs, mollusk. So there are different type of aquatic animals which can be grown as a fishery animal so as to obtain their flesh or variety of fishery products or the byproducts from the different species of the fishes or the different species of the organisms, may be arthropods or like crustaceans, that is prawns, lobsters, crabs, or a different type of fishes, maybe freshwater fish species or marine water fish species or brackish water fish species, uh, which are of a great importance for the food purpose. So, the first subtopic includes an introduction to fisheries and the types of fisheries such as freshwater fisheries, marine fisheries, and brackish water fisheries. Then second subtopic is the study of habitat and the culture methods of following freshwater forms such as rohu, Labiurohita, then katla, and mrugal, that is Sirinus mrugala. So in bracket, these are the scientific or zoological names of the freshwater fishes, which, which are the major carps, which are having much larger size and having a potential of a provision of large quantity of fish protein in the form of their flesh. So, in this topic, we are going to study habitat, and culture methods or cultural aspects of these freshwater forms of the fishes, that is rohu, katla, and mrugal, having zoological names such as Labiorita, katla, and Sirinus mrugala. Then next subtopic is harvesting methods of following marine forms. So in this topic we are going to study the harvesting methods of the fish species which are of marine habitat such as harpodon or Bombay duck, then mackerel, that is commonly called as bangla, and the pearl oysters. So these are the uh, three type of fishery animals can be obtained or harvested directly from the marine water habitat or seas and oceans as a food for the purpose of food or the purpose of byproduct like pearl. So pearl oysters are the mollusk bivalve of marine habitat and which can be uh, cultured or grown or harvested for purpose of getting the pearls. And harpodon and mackerel, that is Bombay duck and bangla, these are also very important fish species harvested in a large quantities by using the modern methods of harvesting as a larger quantity or on a large scale harvesting or catching of the fish is very important so as to satisfy the fish protein or need of the fishes for the human consumption and thus the harpodon or mackerel, Indian mackerel, commonly called as bangla, or harpodon nereus, commonly called as Bombay duck. These are very important fish species and can satisfy the food need of the country, and thus we are going to study the harvesting methods of these marine forms or fish species such as harpodon, mackerel, or pearl oysters. Then next subtopic is study of crafts and gears in Indian fisheries. In this topic, we are going to study the type of craft, that is boats, which are useful for the catching operation or the for the fishermen, which provides a platform. Crafts or boats provides a platform for the operation of the nets or fish catching from the different water resources. So we are going to study different type of crafts or the boats such as catamaran, machwa, and dinghy. So these are the different type of boats or the crafts useful for fishing operation or the catching operations or to operate the different type of nets so as to catch or so as to harvest the fish from different water resources, maybe marine or freshwater resources. One can use or the fisherman can use the different type of crafts such as catamaran, machwa, or dinghy. These may be simple crude crafts or simple type of crafts or maybe advanced or mechanized boats or the crafts having used uh, having been used for the uh, catching or harvesting of the fish efficiently. So crafts are the boats and different type of gears, that is the nets, which can be used as a catching equipment or a fish catching equipment from the different water resources or seas or brackish water fisheries such as estuarine waters or river waters. The fishermen can use the important catching equipment called as gears or the nets. So in this topic we are going to study different type of nets such as gill net, doll net, rampani net, or the cast net. So these are the different type of nets having different structures, or these are prepared variously or differently as per their requirement or the local needs. So different type of fabrics are used for preparation of these nets and are used efficiently for catching or harvesting of variety of fishes. Uh, by using these nets, one can catch or harvest the different type of fishes from the different water resources. So in this topic, we are going to study crafts and gears. So three type of craft, that is catamaran, machwa, and dinghy in different regions, used as a platform or a support for the catching operations or netting operations to the fishermen. And the gears or the nets, which are the important catching equipments for the harvesting of the variety of fishes in a different regions. Or different type of fishes can be captured by using different type of nets such as gill net, doll net, rampani net or the cast net. Then fifth subtopic is study of fishery byproducts. So the surplus quantity of the harvested fish can be transformed into number of byproducts such as fish meal, fish flour, fish liver oil, fish manure, fish fin soup. So these are the different byproducts can be uh, produced or prepared by using the harvested fish stock. So harvested fish stock, after satisfying the local requirement or the need of the fish consumption, the surplus quantity or remaining quantity of fish, harvested fish, can be transformed into number of byproducts such as fish meal, fish flour, fish liver oil, fish manure, or fish fin soup. So, for the production of these byproducts, uh, uh, the harvested fish can be used for the production of fish meal. So fish meal can be used, superior quality of the fish meal can be used as a supplement or can be added into the animal feeds such as poultry feed or dairy feed. So poultry feed or animal feeds uh, can be enriched with the fish meal so as to enrich the protein contents uh, in the animal feeds. Then fish flour is also a superior quality of fish meal can be used for the human consumption along with the flour of maize or wheat in uh, a certain proportion. Then fish liver oil is also obtained by using the livers of certain variety of the fishes which is having great medicinal importance as a source of vitamin A such as cod liver oil or shark liver oil uh, can be used as a source of vitamin A. Then surplus quantity or the quality of the fish meal, poor quality of the fish meal can be used as a fish manure as a source of nitrogen, phosphorus, and variety of nutrients in the uh, field or in the agricultural practices or to the horticultural crops. Then some species of the fishes can be used. So fins of certain species of the fishes, that is the sharks, can be shark fins can be used for the production of fish fin soup, and that can be served in a various five-star or seven-star hotels. So certain species of the fishes or the fins of certain species of the fishes can be used for the production of fish fin soup. And the last subtopic is the study of fish preservation technique. Fish preservation technique. So this includes different practices such as chilling, freezing, salting, drying, and the canning. So these are the suitable fish preservation techniques and can be employed for the preservation of the harvested fish. Since the harvested fish uh, begin with its spoiling uh, soon after its removal from the water bodies. So, as the fish body contains large quantity of water, large quantity of water, and thus Immediately after harvesting of the fish, the spoiling of the fish begins either due to the microbial action or bacterial action or chemical action or enzyme action on the dead fish. So after harvesting, fish dies. After harvesting or after removal of the fish from the water body, it dies and its decomposition or the spoiling starts immediately after its removal from the water, and thus it is very essential to employ or to use proper fish preservation technique uh, to the harvested fish. Otherwise, the fish spoils very soon and become unfit for the human consumption. So, it is essential to utilize the proper fish preservation technique so as to um, maintain, so as to keep uh, the fish in a fresh condition, so as to preserve its edible value, nutritive value. Otherwise, the fish will spoil immediately after its removal from the water as it dies, and as it contains large quantity of water in their body. So, after its removal from the water, it dies and its decomposition starts soon due to either bacterial action or enzyme action or the chemical action. So, it is essential to preserve the fish by using a proper technique, suitable technique, with the consideration of the variety of the fish or its nutritive value. Will have to use the proper fish preservation technique so as to uh, preserve the fishes or the fresh condition of the fishes so as to maintain its nutritive value or edible value. So, we are going to study the fish preservation techniques such as a chilling or a freezing or a salting or a drying or the canning. So, among these fish preservation techniques, we'll have to store the fish in a uh, equipments where we can maintain the temperature less than 0 degrees centigrade so as to reduce or so as to minimize the bacterial action onto the freshly harvested fish or the flesh of the fish, and usually in a cool condition or at the temperature below 0 degrees centigrade, the chances of spoiling or action of the bacteria are reduced. So chilling, freezing, these are the fish preservation techniques where we can maintain the temperature at 0 degree centigrade or less than 0 degree centigrade, and ultimately will help in preservation of the flesh of the fish. Then salting or drying, these are also the important fish preservation techniques where we use sodium chloride or a salt, uh, where we use the sodium chloride in the stock or in the storage of the harvested fish, which will help uh, to stop the bacterial action together with the salting will help in partial dehydration of the fish. So salting is also very important and cheap and suitable technique for the preservation of the fish, as sodium chloride or the salt, uh, use of sodium chloride or the salt with alternate layers of the salt and fish in the container. So ultimately this reduces. So salt or sodium chloride is very important as it reduces or it kills the bacteria in the stock of harvested fish, and together with it helps in a partial dehydration. So water contents can easily be removed from the fish, and salting is also very important fish preservation technique. Then drying of the harvested fish directly under the sun or directly under the heat of sun or sunlight will also help in maintaining its edible value or nutritive value, and thus can be uh, preserved fish for the longer period of the time in the dried condition. Then canning is also a very important fish preservation technique where different activities can be done. That is removal of viscera, then washing, cleaning of the fish, removal of the viscera or the visceral organs, and then uh, salting, that is wet salting or cooking, and then finally the storage of the treated fish or different. This includes different practices. Canning includes several steps, that is cleaning, washing, removal of viscera, then again washing, then wet salting, and then boiling or cooking, and finally the storage of the fish into the oils like olive oil in a storage or the containers where the fish can be preserved for long period of the time, but is the expensive process or the costly process and can be adopted for selected species of the fishes for the preservation. So in this topic we are going to study these different subtopics such as introduction to the fisheries or types of fisheries, habitat and cultural aspects of some important fish species, or different type of harvesting methods for the catching of the certain species of the fishes of marine habitat such as harpodon, mackerel or pearl oysters, then study of crafts and gears which are useful equipments or for the successful practice, efficient practice or the for good production of the fishery, there needs the efficient equipments in the form of craft and gears, then fishery byproducts, and lastly fish preservation technique. So these are the some of the subtopics which can be which we are going to study under the heading of the uh, uh, fisheries or second branch fisheries. So today we'll stop here, and next time we'll continue with the first topic, that is apiculture. Thank you.